welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's Blender tutorial, I'll be teaching you the basic of Blender. So the first thing you'd notice is that you see a cube on a plane, and the cube is one of the objects that you use to model in Blender. Here is the camera, here is the light that will also come in handy as you render. If you right click on your mouse, you'll be able to delete that cube and move on to the next face. Then if you come right up here to add and you go to mesh, these are the parts you can add objects into your plane. So I added a plane object, and if you press Ctrl A, you can also add an object, and then you can move it around. You can add as much object as you want depending on what you want to do. So let's go back and add a cube and continue working with that. Now we're in object mode. If you go into edit mode, you'll see on the right top part we have the vertex select, we have the face select, and the points. So in this part you can select different angles of your objects depending on what you pick, what section you pick. If you pick vertex select, you can select each vertex. If you pick face select, you can select the faces, and you can use shift to select multiple faces at the same time. Moving back to object mode, if you press R on your number pad, you can rotate your object however you want. And if you press R with Z, R with Y, or R with X, you can rotate your object on that particular axis depending on what you want to do. The tool over here is the move tool. Down we have the rotate, just in case you don't want to press Ctrl R. This way you can use it to monitor how you rotate. This is scale, where you can increase or decrease the size of the object you are placing no matter what form you want. With using the scale, your shape can come out in any form. Going back into the edit mode, we're going to vertex select. We're going to use the bevel tool. So you press Ctrl B while selecting your vertices, and then it creates this curve. As you can see, if you go back and you press Ctrl B again, you can increase the segments by rolling your mouse wheel, and it will edit naturally in the object mode. You can see that it has already created that curve already. Here, back into the edit mode. If you go to face select, we're going to press I to insert. As you can see, it is inserted, and we're going to press E to extrude out, I to insert, E to extrude, I to insert, E to extrude. So you can extrude both down and up, and it gives you different shapes and different forms. I to insert, E to extrude. Let's go back. You can extrude and scale it up by pressing S in the edit mode, and you see it is scaled up. If you press I again to insert, and you press, now you can extrude up, scale again with S. You can extrude again, insert, and extrude, insert, scale, however you want it. It depends on you. If we go back to object mode, and we go into the modifiers panel, which is like a little screw by the side there. You pick the array modifier at the top, and you can increase the count, and it will multiply whatever it is that it's on. You can increase the space on the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. You can use this for stairs, for building roofs, whatever it is that you want, and you can flip it by pressing minus on whatever axis you want to flip it to. Also, another thing is we'll go back to edit mode and we will use cuts. So you press Ctrl R and it can cut both vertically and horizontally. So let's move closer. Ctrl R. If you press vertically, it cuts whatever objects you have vertically, and you can select each of the faces separately. You can see that they're separated from the bottom one, and you can play around with it by inserting, extruding. You can cut it, and even when you add Ctrl R, you can increase the amount of cuts that you want by rolling your mouse wheel, and every single time you go back to face select, you can select each of the faces you want and you can play around with it. So let's delete this and add another shape. Let's go for a cylinder. I am decreasing the number of segments of my cylinder to something like 12, and I'm going into my edit mode, scaling it up, and I'm pressing Ctrl R again. So depending on how you want it to cut, that's how you place it. So if I go to face select, you can see now that I can select any of the face, insert, extrude, whatever it is that I would want to do, and just like that, I have something created. This even looks like a window already. Then back in object mode, you can see that it has done by itself. You can see the points. Now, if you press Control Shift D, you can duplicate. So whatever image you have, as long as you press Shift D, you can duplicate it. Also, when you click on an object and you come down here to materials and add a new material, you'll be able to work on colors, which is a broad topic on its own. But for the simplest form, come to base color and pick whatever color it is that you want. It will not reflect though until you move into this shading panel before you can see the colors reflect. Here, these are some of the basic things for you to learn in Blender. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more tutorials like this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below.